If you look at our lives today, we are getting the benefits of about 250 years of industrial revolution, which has completely changed our lives. The mic that you're holding in front of me, the lights that are shining on me, the photography, it's all because of electricity. And we did not have electricity 250 years ago. If you want to make it sustainable, we have to change gears. We have to change directions because the current path that we are on, it's not sustainable for the next 100 years. The infrastructure that we put in a place lasts for 60, 70 years sometimes. So you got to think long term about this. And that is a new industrial revolution, which I'm going to talk about today, that is much more sustainable than we have today. And the way to enable that new industrial revolution is to do research. And some of it is materials research to bring down the cost and make it economically viable so that you don't have to make a choice and say, oh my God, I'm going to turn to something more expensive because of the environment. No, you could turn to something cheaper, something better, and still save the environment. And I think that's the kind of industrial revolution that I'm going to talk about today. If you were to produce electricity from solar, and that's the cheapest way to produce electricity, I think that'll be new. If you were to produce electricity from wind, and that's the cheapest way, that certainly will be new. That's not what we have today. And if you were to be able to store that electricity for long hours, a day, and we use it when you want it to be, that's not the infrastructure that we have today. And so that's just a few examples of what could be new. If you could make biofuels cheaper than petroleum-based oil, that will be new. So those are a few examples. There is no single answer to this. Whether you take looking at, as I mentioned, photovoltaics, how do you increase the efficiency of solar cells, and take it to about 20-25% where it is 15% today in the production level. That's a materials challenge. If you can make lightweight material, high-strength steel, if you can make lower cost carbon fiber composites, reduce the cost by a factor 2 or 3, enable the whole automobile industry. So multiple battery materials for electrification. If you can store more lithium than graphite, like silicon, and make it work in the anode and make really safe cathodes and have the right electrolyte, you make a great battery. I mean, I can go on, but there are many, many examples. These are all materials issues. Just imagine your electricity goes away for a few hours at home. Okay, you'll start, I said, what the heck is going on? Imagine few days, imagine few months. And by the way, few days is what happened in Superstorm Sandy, right? And people in New Jersey lost their electricity. Imagine if the gasoline gets cut off for a little while, right? I mean, that happened in the 70s. It's not that these things are unusual. Sometimes they do happen. And you have to ask the question, what is the most sustainable way to make a future for our children and grandchildren that is secure, that they are secure in the energy source? Because if the energy stops or if there's a disruption, our whole economy comes to a standstill. But you still got to be environmentally conscious about it. You still want to address the climate issues at the same time. And that's not trivial. But it's so important to do that because if you do not, we will leave a world behind for our children and grandchildren which is not better off than what we found. And that will be a travesty.